It is the doldrums of the fantasy offseason. I might even watch some baseball games. I watched a WNBA game the other day, guys. It is tough. Football cannot get here soon enough. And on today's episode of the Regression to Mean podcast, we're going to do a way too early mock draft for redraft season. We have not done any mock drafts for redraft. We've mostly just been doing best ball and dynasty stuff. And we have no idea what this ADP is going to be. So this is going to be really fun. I'm going to have to turn my best ball brain off. But I'm super excited. Joining us today, as always, Keegan Thompson, Aidan, my fellow co-host, my fellow knowers of ball. How you guys doing today? Aidan, my bad. That was off the cuff. You guys know when I go off script, I'm like Joe Biden off the teleprompter. I don't know what's happening here.
Let's give it a 1, 2, 3, and then I'll jump in.
We should keep that. Aidan, how you doing today, man?
Doing well, Shaun. As you can see here, I'm a little in the dark. I have moved. I moved over the last week, and the lighting is not ideal here. So we're gonna have to build out the stew a little bit. But feeling good.
Stew.
Build out this stew. Hall of Fame game in 23 days. Yep, you heard that.
Oh
right.
gosh!
Wow,
days.
that's full blown degen knowing that off the top of your head right now.
August 1st, right?
August 1st, baby. 2024, mark your calendars. Yeah, we are so freaking close. So, no, I'm feeling good, man.
Wow. And Keegan Thompson, not only does our podcast have a new look, if you're watching here, we have got a brand new brand refresh that we're rolling out here. It looks completely different. But Keegan Thompson has a new look. Big haircut. How you doing today, man? It's been a while since you cut the flow, but you're looking good. You're looking sharp. How does it feel? New hair, new you? What's going on?
Yeah, vibes are definitely high over here. The summer in Los Angeles and California in general has been excruciatingly hot. Not to complain for anybody who deals with real heat, but
it's
hot for us. So the haircut was necessary. But no, things are good. We've just discovered in Shaun's bachelor party group chat that is running right now that it'll be the first week of NFL Red Zone, and we will all be together at a place to watch football, which will be immaculate for the vibe. So
yeah,
I'm feeling good.
That was a good discovery.
Yeah, that was like monumental discovery. I feel like my life has changed now, but I'm ready to run the board today. Screen sharing as always done by me. So I'm ready to draft. Not necessarily ready for redraft, but I'm ready to give it a go today.
There's only one way to get back up on the horse. You got to fire up Sleeper, right? So, but before we dive in, two things. One, if you're a part of the 70% of people that are watching this video but aren't yet subscribed to the Regression to the Mean channel, you know what to do. Like this video, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications to make sure you don't miss any of the content that we are dropping weekly throughout the summer. It is almost fantasy football season. It is almost football season. You got to follow this channel. Two, we want to know what you think about our draft picks. We want to know what you think about our player takes. You disagree, you agree, drop them in the comments below. We always want to engage with you, the Mean Team. I stay away because usually I get made fun of, but Aidan is very active in responding to the comments. So sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will always hurt me. Remember that.
They will definitely hurt you.
Always hurt me.
Will hurt him.
Always.
But I'll be friendly in there. I'll be friendly.
100% hit rate. Okay, so Keegan, I still have the controls on starting the draft. I'm gonna get this going. We have a 14 round PPR draft here. We are playing kind of a standard league, but with two flexes. So we have a QB, two running backs, two receivers, a tight end, two flexes, and 6 bench spots. No defenses, no kicker. Second flex. Second flex is a must in my opinion, especially in PPR leagues. Come on, you draft all these good players, play as many as you can. I'm going to be drafting from the 102 here. Keegan's going to be drafting from the 107. Aidan, you're going to be giving us a good old wraparound here from the 112. Brother. Okay. You guys ready to start?
Let's get in there.
All right. Here we go. Draft on the clock. 60 seconds here. Wow. This AI who just drafted has probably been playing best ball because they took CeeDee Lamb at the 101. I can't argue with CeeDee Lamb at the 101. He basically has no challenger for targets. I don't believe Brandon Cooks is very good. I'm a big fan of Jake Ferguson, so is this podcast, but come on, he's not really going to steal too much target share from CeeDee Lamb. I think this offense will continue to throw the ball at a high rate. So I was prepared to take CeeDee Lamb here, but he's off the board. don't overthink this. Christian McCaffrey has the most valuable role in one of the best offenses in football. Sure, he might be hitting the age decline cliff at some point, but I don't know, man. He's showing no signs of slowing down. He was electric in the playoff run. I'm taking CMC. Easy money here from the 102. He's my pick for the 101 as well.
Yeah, CMC at the 2 is a no-brainer. He should really be the consensus 1-1, but
in a very tragic turn of events, I was fully prepared to take Breece Hall here at the 107, which is actually why I selected the 107 for this draft.
Team no bias in our first draft, Keegan. Come on,
dude. I mean, I was ready and prepared to build a hero RB draft here, and I think I'm still gonna do it. But now I'm sitting here with Jamar Chase and Bijan Robinson staring at me. To be honest, guys, I'm scared about Joe Burrow's wrist. It's probably a non-factor, but I'm in the point of the offseason where I'm just like, I'm slightly worried about it. I'm going to go with my strategy, go with my gut here, and I'm still going to build out, I think, a hero RB draft in this, and I'm going to select Bijan.
Double hero.
Wow.
Now that the villain of Arthur Smith is out of Atlanta, better things to come for Bijan Robinson, who I think is going to have a crazy season this year.
I think one thing to really like about Jamar, even though you didn't end up going with him, is he's likely going to play more in the slot this year, which I really like. So that probably would have been my pick there, but I love Bijan. I have him on almost every dynasty team. Crap. This isn't exactly. My goal is not go running back here, but the board has forced me. The board has forced me into my decision.
You have no choice. You have no choice almost. You almost the choice is to go RB almost here. Which
I know nuts. This is that I hate doing that. I love Gibbs. Think he probably catches more passes here. Man, this sucks. Do I go double? Go double.
You're on the clock, dude.
I'm going with Gibbs.
Okay.
I'm going with #year 2 with my first pick there. Man, this is hard. Do I do this? This wasn't supposed to go this way. I don't think I could look myself in the mirror if I went running back. I don't really want to reach in that next tier. I'm gonna go Maserati Marv. Gibbs Marv. Wow, that didn't. I'm already rattled.
Oh man. Yeah, this is tricky. I would actually love to start my wide receivers here. But when I look at what's available, Chris Olave, Kyron Williams, Sam Laporta, honestly, I think it's too early to dip into the tight end pool, considering I don't think this is tight end premium scoring settings that we have here is normal PPR. I feel like that's way too rich. We've got the Washington Commander wannabe Brandon Ayuk here, who for full clarity, I think.
How dare you?
He will be a 49er for this year. You know what? I'm not going to overthink this. I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk. I think starting here, double running back, which I'm kind of considering is a little risky considering the drop-off in wide receiver talent. So I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk here. He's going to be a 49er this year. They're chasing for another Super Bowl. I can't imagine that he would be on a different roster.
Okay, so this is why if CeeDee Lamb goes with the 102, I'm now fucked. It's You're almost fucked. full torqued, full bust alert here if CeeDee Lamb goes to the 102 because I mean Achane.
If CeeDee does go with the 2.
If CeeDee goes at the 102 and you get Achane in the second round, that's insane. I honestly think Achane's going to be one of these guys I don't want to leave any draft without. Highly risky player, highly volatile. Super efficient season, not likely to repeat that efficiency. I understand he could get injured, but I went through and I watched every single one of his touches, courtesy of curtain call replays. This guy was even better than I thought he was, and I already thought this guy was legit a game breaker. He showed so much promise out of the backfield too, and he was so close to hitting a couple huge plays with Tua. I think he has huge upside as someone who can get 12 to 15 touches in the pass game while also catching the ball as a receiver. Give me Achane. I'm all in.
If I was any farther down in my position, like even team 5 or team 4, I would have fully taken Devon Achane there.
So now back to me. I desperately need a wide receiver here. I've got plenty of good choices here.
Just do it.
I love seeing these three here. If I've had to pick a Texan receiver, it's obviously going to be Nico Collins over Steph Diggs. You also have big play merchants in Mike Evans and DJ Moore. And you're also looking at Deebo Samuel, one of my favorite players. I think currently as it stands, I want every piece possible of this Texans offense. I know everyone's priced super high. The route distribution is going to be super narrow. The target distribution is going to be narrow. It's going to be competitive. I don't care. Nico Collins put up one of the more efficient seasons in NFL history from a yards per route run, targets per route run perspectives. I think this guy's an absolute alpha at his size with his speed. Give me all the Nico Collins I can get.
It's so interesting to look at these ADPs compared to best ball ADPs because you see like Isaiah Pacheco's boosted up here into the third round. And people like Jalen Waddle are heavily shoved down, who is going to be my pick here. Because when I think of Jalen Waddle, last year, he's not fully healthy. Like for most of the season, there was several games where he only played like 66% of like total routes. And I just feel like if anything were to happen to Tyreek Hill, it's obviously wheels up for Jalen Waddle, but he doesn't even really need that to be a viable fantasy asset. And if I look at this third round ADP for Jalen Waddle, it feels like stealing. I mean, I'm drafting him towards the front end of the second round in best ball drafts. And if you're like me and you want to take that Jalen Waddle value in the second round, make sure you're drafting on an underdog as well. I know this is sleeper draft or redraft. Don't forget to go check out the underdog drafts over there and get a shot at $15 million. Promo code RTM, match your first deposit up to $100.
This is a nightmare.
A best ball bro he had to turn it into a best ball. Our resident best ball bro obviously goes full, but I love it.
I don't
It's
think
a
I
very
want
good
anything
point.
to do with the later end of the draft in real life.
This is brutal.
You can't really go like Harrison Neighbors. Like that's way too much risk.
That's fun.
Dude, it's
Shot A.
It's insane though. Like, do I do it? And then I'm staring at my, pick of the QBs here, which would be fun. You figure Mahomes regresses positively. Lamar's Lamar. CJ's probably, a little higher than he should be. Man, my brain's in a blender. I'm going to go team fun, and we're going to go neighbors, and we're going Lamar.
Whoa, I thought you were going to go Pacheco. I like Pacheco this year. Bit dead zone-y,
like
but
Pacheco.
man, I do like
Pacheco. Man, I hope I don't end up at the 12.
Man, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, is it really going to work like this in redraft? There's no way, right? Because now I'm sitting at the board here, and of course, you could take a QB, but I'm not going to go with a pocket passing QB. I feel like my three favorite like Konami code quarterbacks are all off the board here, and the best pocket passer, Patrick Mahomes, goes before me. But I'm staring at this and I'm like, wow, there's still a wide receiver one available who has led the NFL in red zone targets for like 2-3 years now in a row, and an offense that is going to sling the rock this year in Seattle. I'm definitely going with DK Metcalf here, and I feel like Ayuk, Waddle, Metcalf, Bijan, it's not a bad start.
I almost did DK at the wrap there.
Man, there's so much value here, and now I'm set at running back. I'm not touching running back for a while.
Two running back, yeah.
Because you can play up to 4 receivers, so you have to be careful punting on receiver. But it's tough, man. Trey McBride is one of my favorite players on the entire board. I think he's going to have a monster season. I'm a big believer in this offense, and I'm a big believer in Kyler Murray's renaissance. Kyler Sans. So, man, this is tough. I just feel like I have to take McBride here. He's just one of my favorite players on the board. And then if you're familiar with best ball, there's a theory called scroll TF down season. And
yeah, shout out the Badge Bros.
There's so many receivers I can choose from. And this probably isn't positive EV considering that this is a onesie position. I'm basically going back to back on onesie positions, even though I need receivers here. I'm going to bank on my ability to pick up receiver value throughout the draft and anchor to the fact that I have 2 absolute studs at running back. I'm trying to break fantasy. I'm trying to win leagues. There is no other quarterback, in my opinion, that is priced disproportionately to his ability to win leagues. I'm going to pick two of the most injury-prone, high-risk, high-reward players in all of fantasy football this season. Give me Anthony motherfucking Richardson. Put him on the squad.
Wow, that's pretty fun, man.
Trey McMillan, this is my dream team. I'm living my dream right now.
This is crazy.
It's all working out for Shaun. I think it's going to work out for me as well, too. We've already seen 2 of the wide receivers from this team go off the board. We've seen their quarterback go off the board. And I feel like this ADP and redraft is just yummy, 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 licking my chops, extreme value here.
That was crazy.
And I think honestly, it's a crowded room with Steph Diggs, Nico Collins, but CJ Stroud, we're assuming a massive year 2 leap for him. I'd love to see him throw for like 4,500 yards. I think there's plenty of targets to go around for all 3 of their key wide receivers. I'm going to go with Tank Dell here, and I'm going to have 4 dogs at wide receiver here. Loving this start so far.
It kind of feels like easy mode.
With one, okay, all right. I think I'm going to start with Keenan Allen. I've got a safe pick there. That one feels good. I've got
team no bias,
a reception hog there, and a veteran presence on the team. We need some wisdom. We need some experience. We need 100 catches.
Your locker room desperately needs some age.
We need it, and we need it bad. Keenan Allen, welcome to the team. Then at this point, I've got 3 wideouts. Do I go for my second running back here, or do I stack another wideout given you can pick 4? That's the $1 million question. I really should take a running back, but I don't really want to. I think I'm going to go with one of my favorite players, the wide receiver position. Talked about him a ton this offseason in Dynasty. I'm going to go with Christian Kirk. I think the dude's due for an absolute monster season. Love Brian Thomas, but, his rapport with Trevor Lawrence is pretty special. This guy, if he doesn't get hurt, we're probably looking at the top 12, 15 season. So give me Christian Kirk as my wide receiver 4 there. And I'm feeling a lot better now. It was scary hours there through 4 rounds.
Dude, I know who you guys are picking. Like, I knew DK, I knew Waddle, I knew Kirk. Like, you guys are just slamming the receiver position. This is a bummer.
You have to with the 2 flexes, and you can start 4 of them. Like, you've got to prioritize it, especially if you land, a running back in the top 2 round.
Yeah.
I would have loved to pick Terry McLaurin here. That would have been my pick. He's going to have one of the better QB situations of his entire career with Jaden Daniels. I think that offense is definitely going to score way more points than they did last year. Now that that's a hard bar to clear for them. I'm not comfortable with some of the running backs here. I think Aaron Jones, James Conner, and DeAndre Swift are too rich for the value here. In terms of James Conner has Trey Benson lurking in the wings, DeAndre Swift, not very complete running back. He's good in special areas, and Aaron Jones could be Aaron Jones, but it still feels rich for an older running back. But I'm going to go here with the rookie upside. I really like my wide receiver room right now, and I can take a swing on a guy like Roma Dunze, who I think has massive upside potential in an offense that got a huge upgrade at quarterback.
He's just slamming the wide receiver position, Keegan.
I'm in fucking hell. I'm in fucking hell.
That's so awesome.
I'm in fucking hell. I really wanted to roam my Odunze tough right there. Again, this is just my guy's team. Jaden Reed. A lot of people think he's a bit player. A lot of people say he's a big play merchant, part-time player. His reception perception profile, that's a whole lot of green, folks. This guy could be man, press man, zone. I've loved him since he came out of Michigan State. Give me Jaden Reed. Give me shares of this Packers offense. Give me.
The only issue I have with Jaden Reed is the amount of 2 wide receiver sets that Green Bay runs, which is a lot. And you would really like to see if Jaden Reed was going to be in it, but it could be Wicks, Watson, but you don't really know who it's going to be.
I'm willing to bet on the year 2 breakout because he was so strong as a rookie. Damn, it's a meme.
It's like a trigger word for Shaun.
Yeah. Take a shot every time Shaun says year 2. See if we make it to the end.
There's a whole lot of year 2 on this squad. You can see it.
It's oozing with year 2.
Fuck, man. You are riding the absolute lightning if this is your guy you're counting on week in and week out. But this is the theme of this team here. I'm swinging for the fences. Dude, or do I just scroll the fuck down? he's not going to be here when I get to. Nah, fuck it. I'm going to take Xavier Worthy. Why not at this point? Already hurt with a hamstring. Built like a 14-year-old boy. Give me Xavier Worthy, the fastest man in combine history.
That was so unnecessary. You know what? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, well, I love my wide receivers. I could definitely add another. The running backs here are okay. If I take a peek ahead of what's coming down the line, like I think I can figure it out and put this together with some later value. I'm going to go ahead and lock in my QB position with one of the last QBs here who I think has awesome upside potential in the run game, but also gets a brand new toy at the wide receiver position with Marvin Harrison Jr. He's got Trey McBride coming into another year of the NFL. You've got James Conner, Trey Benson. Can't forget about the Dortcher Chamber. I loved what the Cardinals did at the end of last year with a healthy Kyler Murray. He looks back to his old self. And I think now I can focus on some other positions, but I've got my QB locked in with some good rushing upside. I love the way the team's coming together so far.
That running back run was just a kick in the nads, bro. Unbelievable. You're never really ready for it. I was like, I'm taking Zamir or Najee, and that's that. That's final. Okay. All right. I'm gonna start with a tight end here. I'm going to take the number 2 option in that Dallas passing offense. I think Jake Ferg, super underrated. Guy was just
Fergie style.
Yeah, just red zone target machine. It's really just him and CeeDee Lamb at this point in that offense. So I'm going to start there. Oh, will you redo that?
He's lucky. He's lucky we're doing a mock draft, or else, we're not letting that fly.
Oh, you want Ferguson here?
Yeah.
You can't take the sticker off a live draft board.
You're not resetting the clock though. Here we go.
That was crazy. Okay. Man, I clicked the wrong button. I'm not ready for redraft yet. Yeah, I'm still getting back in.
But I thought you were a redraft sharp.
I know. It's not August yet. It's not August yet. I haven't entered my final form. Okay. I need a running back. I just need a running back. There's kind of no way around it. I could take another wideout, but it feels a little greedy. Not interested in Mostert. Not interested in Javonte. Chubb, I'm not drafting this year. It's a little crazy, but I'm going to go with Jonathan Brooks. I think they're just going to absolutely feature this guy. Might be a little slow out of the gates, but I can grab another running back or two later on to kind of plug in as my RB2. And I feel good about my wide receivers also. I'm not banking on my running backs to carry this team. I've got Gibbs, and I can kind of count on the other guys to pick up the slack there. It's scary, man.
Interesting options here. I could slam wide receiver again and build out a really awesome wide receiver room. There's definitely some running backs here that I like. I like Javonte in this range. Raheem is very confusing to me. Like, I'm not sure that continuing to phase in a 30-year-old running back while you have Devon A-Chain is smart business, but it would be also silly to fade somebody who scored so many touchdowns last year. But I think while I'm staring at somebody on the board who is going to receive an insane amount of volume, showed really no signs of falling off an age cliff last year, even though he is entering into his 30 age. And I'm going to go with DeAndre Hopkins and bet on the Mayo man, Will Levis, to air that thing out with the new Callahan offense that they're going with. And woof, what a wide receiver room we've got here, boys.
And Keegan, that's fun. I don't know who's going to be running back but you got
that was not cool.
Firepower at wideout.
I desperately wanted him. Man.
Take Christian Watson, live your dream.
Gotta go with Deontay. Gotta go with
sure.
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
That was my second option there.
I was considering it at my pick, to be honest.
Gotta go Deontay.
But no.
And Jalen Warren's off the board. Jalen Warren's really my only guy I'd want to take. I think Javonte's like Deontay DJ is like the perfect complement to Xavier Worthy. One is probably going to take a little while to get going, where Deontay is going to be on the field right away. It's just getting 8 to 10 targets per game. Back on the clock here. Man, I struggle with Javonte. I struggle with Javonte Williams. I really do.
Kind of want nothing to do with them, I'll be honest.
Man, and we've hit the receiver cliff. Like, I'm seeing nothing in terms of receiver right now. So, like, I could double dip with talented running back. I mean, talented receiver with, like, young guy, Brian Thomas Jr. I don't really want to set up a Packers stack, maybe in best ball, but I think I'm good here in this format. Man, I don't really want Javonte Williams on my team, but I do think he's going to get a shit ton of carries. I don't know if I'm believing the Audric Estime hype. I'm a big fan of Jaleel McLaughlin, but I think he's kind of a secondary, tertiary player next to Javonte.
I just don't know if Sean Payton likes Javonte, which is my
fuck it. I don't know why I just did that, but Zach Moss, welcome to the squad. Welcome to the squad. Hey, he was amazing in rush yards over expected last year.
I'd rather have Zach Moss. No, I like the pick.
I'm taking Zach Moss.
I thought you were just going to give in and take Javonte just because.
Capitulation, no thank you.
Yeah, that was crazy for a second.
That's a bummer. I would have loved Javonte Williams or Zach Moss there. But that's all right.
Payback.
It's okay. I mean, I love where my team is at. They're going to score a shit ton of points. Like, picking up a running back here, it's going to get, 9 to 11 points a week is really all I need. But I think there's some really good value here in Tajay Spears. I mentioned this with DeAndre Hopkins pick, but I mean, they picked up two running backs, or they picked up a running back, Tony Pollard, and they have Tajay Spears, who were great in the pass game. Like, they're going to air this ball out. They brought in Tyler Boyd. They have Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins. Like, the ball is going to get put in their playmakers' hands, and I'm pretty confident in what Tajay Spears can do when he has the ball. So,
I love Tajay.
That sucked, Keegan. That is. I just can't keep drafting rookies, but the board and the way that I'm putting the team together is just like shoving it down my freaking.
Get ready to speak Gus Edwards, buddy.
Yeah. Like, you got B-Rob, pretty good season, running back 21. I don't know, Gus, this is a disaster. Gus Edwards, man. My heart says Stray, but I can't keep it's too many rookies. People are going to think I have no idea what I'm doing on here.
You need a guy to start week 1 because Brooks might be eased in slowly.
It's got to be B-Rob or Gus. Let me see. Blake Corum. God, there's rookies everywhere. Okay. We're going to go with the bust. I think Harbaugh is going to ETR, establish the run with that offense. Could stumble his way into another, 8 to 10 touchdowns. Then at this point, filled out a lot of my roster. Probably need another wideout. I've only got 4. I really have no interest in Jameson Williams. I know we're kind of torn as a podcast.
Good days and
There's
bad
no
days.
tear. It's just me holding on to the one strain of the Jameson Williams rope while you guys are just letting me fall.
I get JMO pilled every other day. I'm out and then I'm in. It's like the kombucha girl. I'm a mess when it comes to JMO.
Man, dude, did he really only finish? Man, I was going to say,
It's like 30 career fantasy points.
For sure finished higher than 35 with 10 touchdowns. But I think I am going to go with Courtland Sutton. The clear number 1 pass catcher in that offense. My wide receiver 5, I'm okay with that.
The sniping's been out of control. It's
pretty crazy to me that, I'm glad Trey Benson got taken because I would have had to debate that. Gus Edwards goes. That would have been nice because I think who else is going to touch the ball at the running back position? Like J.K. Dobbins still recovering, and they've just got a weird group of running backs there. But I'm going to be able to pick up a starting running back here in the 10th round who is likely going to lead his team in RB touches. Their offense is going to be much improved. I said this about Terry McLaurin, but I'm kind of in on what Washington's doing. And Brian Robinson sitting here for me in the 10th round, I couldn't ask for something better.
Is he the starter?
Dude, Austin Eckler said it himself on a podcast. He is not a running back who's meant to get 200 touches. He admitted that that's not who he is.
The splits there, I don't know what to expect.
That was not chill. I was banking on a Curtis Sammy sandwich, and he is gone. That was rough, dude. here's the reality of anyone that's going to draft Anthony Richardson. You're going to need a competent backup QB, right? Someone you feel comfortable starting because A-Rich is going to get hurt. I'm going to be the first noob who takes 2 quarterbacks in his first 10 picks, but I think Justin Herbert's getting slept on. I need Anthony Richardson. I need A-Rich insurance. Give me Justin Herbert.
I'm not taking Tua Goff over Herbert. That's crazy.
And this is turning into an RB team, where I feel comfortable starting 3 running backs potentially, and I look at some of these wide receivers that are available on the board. I don't really love what I'm seeing. Like, there's some fun guys that I can take a stab at later. I probably just have to go with upside here, and I don't think any player in fantasy football has more injury contingency upside than Blake Corum. If anything were to happen to Kyron Williams, a diminutive running back with foot issues, Blake Corum is going to see 20-plus touches in a really good offense. I'm not going to have to spend up too much to get him. He's going to be my 4th running back. I feel pretty good about Blake Corum. He's not a year 2 running back like Chase Brown, but I'll take him anyway.
Damn, I thought Charbot might slide all the way. That's a bummer.
No, he wasn't making it past me. Don't worry.
Year 2.
So you're all good there. This is interesting. I just, looked at what's kind of left here at the tight end position. I don't love that. So I've kind of punted on that completely. And I think I might just commit to the punt here and just try and add another running back. And I'm going to take an unsexy pick in Jerome Ford here because he's going to handle the ball in the beginning of the season. I know Deontay Foreman's there. I'm not confident that Nick Chubb will be a huge factor in the beginning of the season. Right now, I've got Tajay, I've got Bijan, I've got Brian Robinson, 3 running backs who should give me enough touches to go around. I think adding Jerome Ford for that early season stuff is going to be very helpful for a team like this. So we're going to punt on tight end, add our 4th running back, and hope something falls to us here.
Oh, man. Did someone say year 2, man? Okay. All right. So I'm actually feeling pretty good about the balance of my team right now. I've got 5 wideouts, 3 running back. I've got my QB. I'll maybe pick one up at the end. I don't really know if I need to with Lamar. And then I've got Fergie. Love the upside with Chase Brown. I think, we saw some really explosive plays with him down the stretch. It's really just him and Zach Moss. I think they're definitely going to want to see more with him in terms of what they got. So I think he'll definitely have a bigger role. Give me Chase Brown as the running back 4. What do I want here? I'm probably going to just hammer another wide out. Ton of options here. A lot of young guys. We got Jerry Jeudy right there. That honestly might be the pick. You got Palmer down there.
Has there ever been a least sexy 12th round pick that could easily?
Yeah, it's I don't really want.
Jerry
I'm
Jeudy?
too young at wide receiver to take Leggett. Josh Downs is fine. Don't love it. You got Troy Franklin, who's a total. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Jeudy. I don't hate that. I think he could actually have a pretty solid year there. I think him and Amari are kind of only going to help each other out in terms of being able to help each other up. So yeah, give me Jeudy there.
Slot snaps for Jerry Jeudy, and
that's
what could be
value there in the 12, man.
Higher
for Jerry
passing
Jeudy.
volume offense. I think Judy's in best ball a great pick. He's fine at redraft, but I like him in best ball.
Yeah, I like that.
For the sake of this draft exercise, so I don't have to completely punt, and when I look at this on a screen, it doesn't look as disgusting as it might if I waited till the 14th round to draft a tight end. I'm just going to go ahead and grab one right here, and I'm going to grab what I think is probably the best one available, because if I look at who's left, Ben Sinnott, H-back season, K. Doughton, I absolutely love him. He's a waiver wire darling to me, but I'm not confident that that team will be as good as they will next year. When I think about the remaining tight ends left and who they're tied to at their quarterback, Luke Musgrave to me, Jordan Love.
Yeah,
I love Jordan Love. I think this is still good value for a tight end. And if Luke Musgrave can give me 7 points a week, I'll be pretty happy with how the rest of my team is built.
Dude, Luke Musgrave's pretty good. I was a Tucker Kraft stan, but I've been Musgrave pilled. His yards per route run is pretty damn good as a rookie tight end. So I'm probably going to take the most underqualified wide receiver 1 of all time, or just maybe the most mid wide receiver. Have you guys remembered a more mid X wide receiver 1 than Josh Palmer? like a guy who's going to get 120 targets. Like,
I don't know how he seems underqualified, but he got the job. He got the job.
I mean,
Yeah.
well,
He
look,
lied on his resume.
Yeah, for sure. 8 years
we
of
all
experience.
ladder. We all ladder McConkey, all right? We've been caught with public laddering our McConkey. It's not fun. But I would say, like, I feel like Josh Palmer's a safer bet. And at pick 147, end of the 12th round, my 5th wide receiver, especially considering I have Xavier Worthy, I need someone who's just going to soak up some targets. The classic, like, 5 for 51 and a touchdown. He's basically like a tight end in that regard. So I'm going to take Josh Palmer here. That's my 5th wide receiver. It might be scroll the F down season here. Rookie wide receivers and year 2 running backs are 2 of my favorites. I'm tempted to take Dontavian Wicks, but I already have Jaden Reed, and I don't know in a redraft league if I want to deal with that headache, and I don't know if I want that redundancy. I want rookie wide receivers, and I want rookie wide receivers that have the potential to really explode in the back half of the season based off of volume and based off of a quarterback that could be quite good. I love Slick Rick, but I don't think I'm going to take Slick Rick. He's basically needs an injury for him to hit home. You're going to be carrying him on your bench for the better part of the year. I'm going to have to take Jalen Polk here, the wide receiver from New England. I love the type of upside that he brings. It's the exact type of swing I want to take in redraft. I think he legitimately be the wide receiver 1 with the descending quarterback and Drake May if things break right. So give me Jalen Polk.
I had the right jersey. I thought you were going to make people stand up there for a second.
No, that's a last pick of the draft kind of guy.
Oof. All right. I like where my team is at. You know, we've got some decent running backs here. We are loaded at the wide receiver position. We've got our tight end figured out. We've got a Konami code quarterback. I think when I start looking in the late rounds, like, all right, I got to take some swings here. I got to identify somebody who might be able to pop later in the season. Where can we help? I'm still thin at the running back position, so that's where my eyes kind of go here. I'm going to make another bet on the Green Bay offense here, I think, and go with a rookie. Is this going to be my first rookie this draft? I think it is, actually. So, second rookie. I've got Rome. I'm going to go with Marshawn Lloyd. I like the way the running back room is built out with Josh Jacobs and Green Bay, but I think for, a couple spike weeks, Marshawn Lloyd is definitely a solid pick. He fumbles the ball a ton, but hopefully he'll figure that out.
Coaches love that. They love the fumbles.
Okay. I've got 6 wideouts, 4 running backs, got my tight end, got my QB. Should I do it?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you said that like we know what it is.
Antonio Gibson, his favorite pick from last year. Oh, QJ.
No, this one's different. So this one's fun, but there's some logic here. Tight end one ahead of him is injured. Guy lines up all over the football field. He's gonna have weeks where he goes off. He's annoying. No one likes him. But I actually think you could do way worse with Taysom Hill in fantasy football. If it wasn't,
bad man.
If Juwan wasn't injured, I'm probably not clicking that button at all. But like, he's tight end 1 there. It'll be him and what's his name, Moreau there, right? That's the
Foster.
2 of them. Yeah, him and Foster Moreau. No, I'm not going to take QJ. I'm already dealing with that burden in Dynasty. The questions here is, do I just take another wideout or running back to kind of round this thing off? I'll do it. This, in my opinion, is the best wide receiver on the Packers. I wouldn't be surprised if Wicks leads that entire team in fantasy points from that position. So I'm going to go with Wicks at my last pick, my 7th wide receiver. Could end up being a gold mine there.
Wanted Jaleel.
Perfect. This has worked out for me exactly how I wanted it. 1 for the laughs, and 2 just for the fact that, look, 14th round, my last pick, love my wide receiver room. Why not bet on the guy who has the unqualified wide receiver 1 in his room and go against everything I've ever said about this guy and take a shot at Quentin Johnston?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what if there's a world where his hands just work 75% of the time?
Might.
That would be better than 25% of the time like it was last year.
And the futuristic meme where it's like the world if Quentin Johnston could catch the society.
Exactly.
If Quentin Johnston
at this
catch
point,
a ball in hands.
When you're going through the drafts, it's like, all right, late round flyers, but it's like, who is tied to really good offenses? Like Roman Wilson, no. Adam Thielen, no. Darnell Mooney, maybe, but I don't think anything's going to go his way. Like in terms of targets, you got Corley, Demario Douglas, Michael Wilson. Like I'm going to bet on Herbert and just have him carry along Quentin Johnston.
Man, I would have loved a little Kimani Vidal. That would have been sick. That's the exact type of like last pick that gets the juices flowing. All right, this is last pick season. Probably taking a backup running back here with injury upside. I don't really need a receiver. I like my 4 running backs. I'm basically betting on CMC and Achane, just like basically doing an anchor build where kind of being hyper fragile in the sense of the running back room. I could add to tight end. Ideally in redraft, I like to just pick up a tight end a little bit later if I need to.
Yeah, I'm not drafting 2.
Chig is great. Hunter Henry's great, but the waiver wire exists for a reason. Probably going to take a running back. He's an injury away probably from having a great role, but I'm going to take Khalil Herbert. He's the exact type of guy that I would like to put at the end of my bench.
That's a good pick there. Or he gets traded, Dallas or something. Gets thrust in the big role.
I just don't see the Bears trading him. Like, why would they make their team worse? Like,
no.
One of the better backup running backs in the league. So,
yeah, it's a good RB room.
Team by team. You want to start with me real quick, Keegan? This was a bit. Yeah, I think you can click on it. It highlights me. Yes. Okay.
Ooh,
so this wasn't really my ideal build. I like to go 0, but I think when you have an opportunity to have CMC and Achane on the same team, you got to take that. Basically, have 2 league winners at the running back position potentially. Got to take it. Nico, my wide receiver 1. I think ideally I'd want him to be my wide receiver 2, but I really do think he consolidates and is the wide receiver 1 in this offense. Big swings on Trey McBride and Anthony Richardson. I'm here to win, right? I want 2 of the guys that could potentially be the ones at their position. And then at receiver, really like Jaden Reed, but he has some question marks in terms of snap percentage. Xavier Worthy, is he good? We have no idea. Deontay Johnson, we know he's going to get a ton of targets. Zach Moss is a great 0 RB guy. Pair Justin Herbert with Anthony Richardson. Feel good about that. Blake Corum, league winner potential with an injury. And then just soaking up 2 guys that are very different. Whoa, soaking up 2 guys. Just taking 2 guys that are very different. Josh Palmer's just going to get a ton of targets, and I think Jalen Polk has the potential to really be a star in my lineup at the end of the year. And then ending the draft with Khalil Herbert, someone I will cut if I eventually need a tight end. Moving on to Keegan's roster here.
Yeah, so we are anchored down to Bijan Robinson, like quite literally anchored down. He is the only running back in sight for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds. So 1 running back through 8 rounds. Obviously, I wanted to get loaded up at the wide receiver position. I love Ayuk. I think Jalen Waddle is a superstar, and he doesn't really need the injury to be super fantasy relevant in that Dolphins offense. But in case anything does happen to Hill, holy crap, wheels up for Waddle. We've got DK Metcalf, who I highlighted, the red zone opportunities and just how I think that Seattle offense is going to be. Love Tank Dell. Rome for some rookie upside, and I don't think it's going to take him very long to get situated in the NFL. I think he's going to be an immediate factor in their offense. You got the rushing upside with Kyler Murray. Hopkins for some veteran presence in the locker room, somebody who's going to help Will Levis, score a couple touchdowns this year. And then we hammer the other positions, Tajay Spears, who I think has great pass catching ability, which would be great, as a PPR emergent in this league. Brian Robinson for some fall into the end zone and touchdown upside, and then also just betting on an improved Washington offense. Jerome Ford to kind of carry me through the early weeks at running back as they get situated without Nick Chubb and figure out who is kind of going to get a bulk of their touches. Luke Musgrave for a late tight end here. I don't love that, but I'm still pretty happy because of who he's tied to as an offense. And then double dip on Green Bay with Marshawn Lloyd for an injury away type situation at running back. And then a somewhat comedy, somewhat serious bet on Quentin Johnston.
He's great. What are you talking about?
QJ breakout. Don't give up on him. So the draft came at me pretty quick to start. My first 3 picks, I've got 1 combined year of NFL experience. So I've got Jahmyr Gibbs, who I love Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. Like I would absolutely do Gibbs again at 12. If you wanted to play this a little safer, like Devontae Adams instead of Marv, is probably a much safer pick. But I said fuck it because I like to have fun. So I took Marv there. Said fuck it again and took Neighbors. Crazy start there. Love Lamar there. And then things start to steady out a little. I've got Lamar there. Only one QB on the roster. 2 solid veteran PPR wide receivers in Keegan and Kirk. Love Jake Ferg as my tight end there. Kind of took Taysom as like a half goof, but probably won't really need
Half
him
goof.
with Fergie. Another rookie. We're just staying young. We've got Jonathan Brooks, who, will likely not play early on, or at least not a huge role as he's still rehabbing that ACL. Gus Edwards, kind of just banking on touchdowns with him. I think that offense should be super beneficial for him, especially in the red zone. Love that. 2 kind of veteran wide receivers later on here in Sutton and Judy, ex-teammates there. Like them in their offense, the number 1 and number 2 options respectively. Chase Brown, a little flyer on a year 2 running back who I expect to have a bigger role, and rounded it out with Dontavian Wicks, who again is kind of everyone's favorite pick to have a monster year, but we'll see. Crowded wide receiver room. Like the team, redraft got real there for a second. There's no way around it. That was
fun, dude.
That was good.
That was fun. It's
good.
fun that the receiver avalanche happens later, but it still happens.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're in a draft room with Keegan Thompson, the receiver avalanche is it's happening.
He's
he
hoarding
could have
them. He's
easily
hoarding them.
he could have easily been a tight end at Tank Dell or Roma Dunze, but alas, I actually I don't think it would have been a tight end. It had to be Evan Ingram, so he actually played the board. Okay, that was a ton of fun, guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in. If you're still watching, you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Subscribe to this channel. We will be back next week with more best ball content, and then we're gonna be fully ramping up towards the end of July, early August with redraft content, talking about our favorite players, talking about our flag plants, our fades at each respective position. And then we're talking about players we disagree the most, year 2 breakouts. It's going to be a ton of fun. And we're pumped for another great offseason. Thank you guys for joining. Until next time.